Now, folks, let's go over to our technology expert, our man, Mr. David White. And don't forget, folks, David kicks off TFNN each and every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. He's 9 to 10. You can call him. Market's opening up. A great hour of market news, technology news. And, of course, you can come over and get his newsletter. You can test drive his newsletter, folks. This is an outstanding newsletter. It's an investment newsletter, folks. Specifically what I mean about that, it's a long investment newsletter. So David is looking for the acceleration inside that technology space. It's called the Technology Insider. You can go over, you can test drive it right here, right now. David White, what's going on?
Well, there's just an absolute ton of news this time of year, especially in technology. Mostly because this is almost the end of the university year, and everybody's publishing papers about some form of technology.
Interesting.
One set of another. And this week's newsletter is probably on what I think is the biggest thing for the next, I would say, next 5 or 10 years of technology. And I've done that newsletter this week on that subject. And literally I'm getting in my email box maybe 10 or 15 newsletter papers a day from college professors, other people doing research, IBM, everybody and their dog is doing research on graphene, and that's what today's newsletter is about.
So, I want to back you up just for 1 second, though, because, we had talked, we talked a little bit about graphene, but a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the IPv4 addresses, right? And
yep.
I see that, the Asia-Pacific network, they actually are completely out now, right?
They are. They got about 50 million IP addresses just about 45 days ago, and poof, they're gone. And so now if you want to do anything in Asia, it better be IPv6. And that's the, for those people that maybe didn't catch those shows, there is a new standard for the Internet out there that has a lot more addresses, the equivalent of a lot more phone numbers out there, area codes. And basically we've run out. We'll be running out of them here in the United States in September.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So graphene, when we talk about graphene, what actually is it?
It is the new wonder material. The people that kind of came up with a way of figuring out what it does and how it works basically discovered it with a number 2 pencil and a piece of Scotch tape. So something so simple, but no one really knew to investigate it. But basically what you can do with graphite, which is what pencil lead is made out of,
yes,
is it will come off in 1 atom thick sheets out there. In fact, if you took 3,000 sheets of graphene, which is just graphite in these 1 atom thick sheets, if you had 3,000 layers, or excuse me, 3 million layers of them, they'd be about the thickness of a credit card out there.
Really?
So we're talking about something that can't get any thinner than what it is. And if it was just that, it would be interesting, but mechanically it's about 100 times stronger than steel. It will conduct electricity about 30 times better than silicon, and everybody and their dog, since the people released the papers on it around 2005 or 2006 on basically how to make it so you could start playing with it. Every grad student, everybody in higher institutions, the Defense Department, IBM has got a couple hundred people working on new technology with chips on it. It is the new wonder material for the basically the next generation of computers out there.
Thank God I know you well enough that I know you like dogs. Keep saying everyone and their dog.
Okay.
Hey,
but go ahead.
I see. I mean, this is pretty amazing that when you reach out there, I mean, these universities want to get their papers out there. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
It is, but it's publish or perish, and you better come up with something that means something.
Okay.
And so a lot of these people have been out there figuring out out things. And one of the big ones out there was the University of Illinois came out with their paper this week and found out that, hey, when we make transistors with this stuff, it actually gets cooler when you use it than hotter. And the biggest problem with making a lot of chips out there is they get too hot. Everybody's had their computer. They've got all those fans in there to keep the heat coming down. Imagine something that is, by its nature, only about a tenth as hot. And then when you actually use it, it gets colder. So every time someone comes out with something, it's like some kind of new kind of magic is just this sprouted forth from the research out there. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Every single time someone goes in and starts figuring out how something's supposed to work, they find out some magical property that this stuff has. So it's the Moore's law is every 18 months to 24 months, everything either doubles in speed,
yes,
or or it halves in price. And we were getting very close to a wall. And that's why we see now all these chips with 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 cores out there from Intel. They just couldn't make the chips really any faster, so they're going to put more of them in there.
Now this will change the game, won't it?
It will. The biggest thing is that the chips from Intel out there run at about 2 gigahertz to about 4 gigahertz out there, and IBM came out with a paper last week that said that they had transistors running at 150 gigahertz, and they still thought that 200 was capable. So we're talking about a high-end processor now at 4 gigahertz, and let's say in 5 years, something in the neighborhood of 150 or 200 gigahertz.
Now, folks, depending where you are in life, and you folks that are still in school, you can see, as David's speaking here, when we're talking atoms, what you definitely want to wrap your head around, and I wish I wrapped my head around. I love science, but I wish the calculations, and when you start talking atoms, I mean, that science is so cool. It's amazing, man. It blows my mind that you're saying you can do 3 million sheets, and that's going to be the size of a credit card, and that has to do with something just laying on one atom, right?
Right, just 3,000 sheets, if you laid them on top of each other, would only be as thick as a credit card. So we're talking
3,000, not 3 million. 3,000, okay.
No. Well, let me see. I wrote it. Now I can't remember it. I thought it was 3 million sheets.
Yeah, no, you said 3 million, right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it's when you're talking about one atom, it takes about 3 million of them to make about a tenth of a centimeter out there. So yeah,
that
that's
is
about
so
right.
Cool. And so the atom that you're talking about now. So picture this for a second. I mean, graphite and lead pencils have been here forever. So that's been sitting in front of all of us for so long, and then just one scientist turned around and just did something at one particular time and came up with this whole deal, right?
2 Russian scientists working in England were trying to figure out a way to just get a one-atom layer off of graphite and figure what happens and what it does out there. And so they started playing around with some lead from their pencil and a piece of Scotch tape, and they just kept taking the Scotch tape and putting it together and pulling it apart, and it would keep pulling layers apart, just like an onion. And finally, they got down to one. They just kept doing it, and finally got it down to one little piece that was a little smaller than a dime out there, and it was one big chunk, 1 atom thick.
So
now they had something. Go ahead.
No, so your challenge in the newsletter, of course, is and it basically and looking at this is figuring out, okay, where is this going to be used, what company is going to use it, and how it's going to be used, right?
Yeah, and literally the applications are everywhere. The biggest part is going to be semiconductors, and the reason is that it conducts electricity about anywhere from 30 to 100 times faster than silicon out there. So literally electricity does move slow in silicon compared to some things out there. But this is the closest thing to a room temperature superconductor that I think we're ever going to see out there. And superconductors, everybody's seen TV shows where they're showing all this stuff and they're freezing it to 250 degrees below 0 Celsius and trying to do everything in the world to get and figure out superconductor properties out there. And they found this stuff, wow, in room temperature, it works perfectly as a conductor.
No.
Much better than anything out there, better than copper, all the other stuff out there.
Now, I guess what's pretty cool here is that, when we talk about the food chain, in the food chain, I'm specifically talking about, folks, is that, okay, so you have the new material, graphene. It has something to do with carbon, a new form of carbon, but you have the graphene. So then we're going to have companies that are using the graphene. You can have chip companies that are using the graphene. And when you look at chip companies, then there's other companies that build all those chip plants. So that's going to kind of change inside there, too. So they're going to get business, too, right?
Literally everybody, from the people that go out and make the stuff. There's several different ways to make it. So they'll be out there, much like the companies that make the silicon wafers.
Okay.
They sell those silicon wafers to the fab houses, and the fab houses actually make chips out of them. There is a whole food chain all the way up there, and all those companies are going to have a new capability to make a lot of money on this. So we're going to probably talk about that when we come back.
Absolutely. Folks, you stay right here. This is David White. This is Tom O'Brien. We're going to be coming right back. We had the Dow up 56, NASDAQ up 4, S&P's up 5.
Direction Shares Leverage ETFs fuse the benefits of exchange-traded funds with the innovation you expect from Direction, providing investors with opportunities to magnify their short-term perspective, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. Direction Shares, ETFs to the power of X. To learn more about Direction Shares, click on the Direction banner on the front page of TFNN.com or call 866-476-7523. There is no guarantee that the funds will achieve their objective. The ETFs are not suitable for all investors and should be utilized only by sophisticated investors who understand short-term trading, leverage risk, consequences of seeking daily leverage investment results, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. An investor should consider the investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses of Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other information and can be obtained at directionshares.com. Please read the prospectus carefully before investing. Distributed by Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Great Basin Gold is an international gold mining company with 2 producing mines in the world's most prolific gold mining areas, the Hollister Gold Mine on the Carlin Trend in Nevada and the Burnstone Gold Mine in the Wits Basin in South Africa. The Burnstone Mine is a low-cost, long-life, shallow mine that is a company builder, and the Hollister Mine is one of the world's highest-grade ore bodies being mined today. Burnstone offers a huge re-rating potential by producing in the 4th quarter, and Hollister represents a tremendous and very exciting exploration opportunity. With annual production of 165,000 ounces of gold in 2010, 260,000 in 2011, and 330,000 ounces of gold in 2012, Great Basin is poised to become a leading mid-tier gold producer. Great Basin Gold has resources of over 13 million ounces, exceptional organic growth potential at its current mines, and greenfield operations in Tanzania and Mozambique. Great Basin has strong management and a commitment to deliver exceptional value and cash flow to its shareholders while acting responsibly toward its surrounding communities. To find out more about Great Basin Gold, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the American Stock Exchange, symbol GBG.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make. You've heard Bud Rolfs give his expert technical analysis of the stock market on the radio. Now you can have his superior trading advice and his best stock picks delivered right to your desktop every week with his newsletter, The Torch. Using his own trademarked Warpath trading system, Bud will help you to increase your odds of making and saving money in the markets with powerful stock selection, stock analysis, and trading plan strategies. Published every Monday morning, each issue of The Torch features full-color charts in an easy-to-follow format. You will also receive not only the big picture of what's going on in the major markets and critical sectors, but also featured stock picks with complete trading plans and technical setups, as well as the Subscribers Corner, where Bud analyzes stocks submitted by subscribers. Visit TFNN.com today and receive your 2-week free trial of the torch. That's a $75 value. Sign up now and make sure you receive all the great market analysis and winning trade ideas in every action-packed issue of the torch from Bud Rolfs.
This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. And, folks, don't forget my new book is on Amazon right now. It's The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. It's only $27.95. I'm going to be coming across the country doing workshops. The workshop consists of, it's 2 hours, folks. We're going to be talking quality volume, your ABC structure, the never-seen-before Tiger Gartley. That is kicking off in Tampa, Florida, April 27th. I'm going to be in Boston, May 4th. Nashville, New Hampshire, May 5th. Denver, Colorado, May 17th. Boulder, Colorado, May 18th. San Francisco, the 19th. An online webinar on the 25th. That full workshop, folks, is only $88. If you do happen to be in New York, I won't be doing a workshop, but I will be speaking at the Hard Asset Show on May 9th and May 10th. We're talking with our technology expert at TFNN, our man, Mr. David White. And you can test drive David's newsletter, folks, the Technology Insider, by coming over to our website at TFNN, right under newsletters. So we're talking about graphene, and so, you know, who are the companies that are going to be making money in this, David?
Well, there's 3 pillars to semiconductor manufacturing. There are the people that come up with the materials. There's the people that design mostly transistor designs, and there's lithography, people that can actually print these circuits down on these small little chips and actually make something with them out there.
I see.
But basically, they're either taking some form of X-ray or some way of a super technical way of trying to figure out how to put all those little lines and squiggly things on those chips when you see them all blown up. Not to get too technical, but you have to print these things. Like the Treasury prints $1, and they put all the little tiny stuff in it.
Yes.
Now think of that though, but think of that as a million times smaller when you're printing a line out there. These things have to. They're getting to the point now where they're about the traces that connect one spot to another are 8 and 10 atoms wide.
That is so cool, man.
They are. Now, this is just the beginning of what I'm talking about. Probably talk a little bit about it in the next segment.
Yes.
But what we really have is the beginning of the quantum mechanics getting really into electricity or electronics now. And we're going from the point where we are just pushing voltages around and turning on and off voltages to now working on the quantum level. And that's why graphene is going to be not only cool in transistors, but is going to basically break apart the way memory works in the next 5 years. So if you take that graphene, which looks like chicken wire, if you just put like an atom at every point where the wire connects, and just think of like a chicken wire in a honeycomb design.
Yes.
If you pull out one of those little atoms out of there, it gives it a little magnetic spin in there. It gives it the qualities of a magnet. So we're going to go back, and just like a computer hard drive spins around, it has and remembers the bits and bytes on the drive by whether it's magnetic or not on that spot. Graphene's going to work the same way, but because it's so small, you're going to be able to maybe put a factor of 10 times more memory in the same amount of space in a relatively few years out there, and it's going to be magnetic. So it's going to be able to be written to and read and rewritten to. There's some level in the current, like thumb drives, where you use them so many times and they'll eventually wear out.
Okay.
This is going to be the next step past that, and why NAND memory has come a long way, and you can write it millions of times now where you could have only written it maybe 1,000 times 10 years ago. You're into the millions now. Basically, you'd be into the billions as this goes into magnetic. memory, and then that brings up a whole new technology called racetrack memory. And basically, this is the thing that everybody's been waiting for in quantum mechanics for the next step in the evolution of electronics out there. They're going to start using, instead of electronics, it is going to be working with atoms on a quantum level out there. And one of the coolest things out that most people don't know about, because you start talking physics and people's eyes roll back, but is a thing called quantum entanglement.
Okay.
And this is going to be big for transferring huge amounts of data from place to place. And this may be 10 years down the line. But graphene's going to play a big role in this. That's why I'm thinking this is going to be the biggest thing since silicon came to Silicon Valley out there.
Big game changer, right?
Right. But quantum entanglement is, imagine that you could take 2 electrons off one atom. They have a thing called quantum entanglement.
I want to know if that, when I finish the program, if you can just buzz me right here into the middle of a whole school of nice big tuna so I can start catching them.
Well, that's kind of where I'm going on this. But
that's a beautiful thing. Folks, you stay right there. We got a man, David White. And listen, folks, you can come over. This whole newsletter Dave is talking about, you can have it on your desktop right now, folks. Come over and test drive his newsletter. It's the Technology Insider. It's right inside the carousel. David's going to be right back, folks.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is now on sale at Amazon.com for only $27.88. If you have an interest in mastering any market with superior confidence, this book is for you. I will walk you through the subjective theory behind quality, volume, and cause and effect, coupled with the objective aspects of the Tiger-Gartley, all the while utilizing risk management and Tiger scaling techniques. This will give you the elements of a successful system that can be profitably applied to any stock, commodity, or future market, any place, anytime. I'm offering a complete educational program, including the book, for only $88. You'll receive a live 2-hour workshop in your city or online, where we get into quality volume, the ABC structure, as well as the never-seen-before Tiger-Gartley. These techniques will make you money on a consistent basis. You can go to TFNN.com to see when I will be in your city. Don't let Wall Street eat you alive. It's time for you to rule the markets. Go to TFNN.com and sign up for the workshop coming to your city.
Great Basin Gold is an international gold mining company with 2 producing mines in the world's most prolific gold mining areas, the Hollister Gold Mine on the Carlin Trend in Nevada and the Burnstone Gold Mine in the Wits Basin in South Africa. The Burnstone Mine is a low-cost, long-life, shallow mine that is a company builder, and the Hollister Mine is one of the world's highest-grade ore bodies being mined today. Burnstone offers a huge re-rating potential by producing in the 4th quarter, and Hollister represents a tremendous and very exciting exploration opportunity. With annual production of 165,000 ounces of gold in 2010, 260,000 in 2011, and 330,000 ounces of gold in 2012, Great Basin is poised to become a leading mid-tier gold producer. Great Basin Gold has resources of over 13 million ounces, exceptional organic growth potential at its current mines, and greenfield operations in Tanzania and Mozambique. Great Basin has strong management and a commitment to deliver exceptional value and cash flow to its shareholders while acting responsibly toward its surrounding communities. To find out more about Great Basin Gold, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the American Stock Exchange, symbol GBG.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
This is David White, and we're going to be finishing up the rest of this hour talking about technology out there. As always, you can call toll-free at 877-927-6648 and internationally at 727-445-1044. If you have any questions about a stock, maybe on a technical, but I mean not technical in the stock market way, but in a technical way about a particular company out there, maybe you can give me a ring. We're going to wrap up in this little segment just what I was talking about with Tom when we split, and that was one of the other papers that did come out this week was a article where they are finally sending data through quantum properties of atoms. They've already been able to, let's say, take a electron from and basically split some electrons off of a particular atom, and they'll take one down there to Mobile, Alabama, and the other one to Key West out there. And there's a particular quantum property out there that I think probably 90% or 95% of people out there have never heard about, but it's called quantum entanglement. And the easiest way to think about this is they have a polarity. And if two little electrons out there are entangled, it's much like two kids out there on a seesaw. When one goes down, the other one goes up. When one goes up, the other one goes down. So you can actually control one electron that's on one coast of the United States. If you make it do something, it will actually flip the other electron on the other side. There's been some problems with losing data, and the idea is that one day we're actually going to be able to send data back and forth at a very high rate, because this isn't at the speed of light. This is instantaneous, and it is called quantum entanglement if you want to go out there and Google it. But there was another paper out there where they're now sending huge amounts of data back and forth using this phenomena out there, and it's probably in its infancy, again, probably at least 10 to 20 years away, but they've finally done something that a lot of people have always thought about, and that is being able to do something faster than the speed of light. Literally be able to flip a switch here, and on the other coast of America have it happen exactly at the same time. Now, there's a few things to know about it. If you jiggle these electrons a little bit too much, they'll break the entanglement, so you kind of have to handle them like eggs. But as long as you're nice and gentle with these little electrons out there, as you change the spin on one, it will change the spin on the other, no matter where it is. On the other side of the coast, in another galaxy, it doesn't matter. And it's quite a phenomenon out there. But what it really means is that we have networks that are relatively slow, Ethernet, stuff like that. Eventually, we're going to be able to actually send data virtually instantaneously out there. And one of these papers that did come out from a institution this week talked about how they were actually sending huge amounts of data out there through quantum entanglement. So it's what used to be science fiction is now becoming science fact, and we're just in the first, I think just in the first innings. Graphene is probably the first material that makes these kind of phenomena very easy to work on for people that don't have a lot of money. And there's a lot of PhDs out there at these colleges, and they may have some money, but they don't have the kind of deep pockets that, let's say, corporations have. But they've gone in there because it was so easy to make. And these two Russians that got the Nobel Prize for basically discovering it and talking about some of the initial properties out there got all the college grad students out there to get in on the ground floor of it. We're going to have an absolute landslide of scientific research in this area. And from what I've just seen in the last 2 to 3 weeks out there, it's absolutely amazing the amount of brains we have working on these problems out there. And we are going to have products with this very shortly. When we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more about what's in my newsletter this week.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to thefrontofTFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. But you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is now on sale on Amazon.com for only $27.88.
And as we come back, we're talking technology out there. And if you want to have some real fun out there, just Google spooky action at a distance if you want to have your mind blown. It was a term that Einstein came up with for talking about two objects which are really separated in space, but how they actually talk to each other out there. Anyway, we do have a caller, and it is the Rocky from Canada. How you doing, Rocky?
How you doing, David? This is very informative and a great show. I am
Fantastic.
a subscriber to your new newspaper, the Technology Insider, and not being a real techie, I find it very educational stuff that you have in there, and hopefully it'll be not only educational but profitable over time. And what I was wondering is, companies that sort of, have made this big bounce back and they're doing a little retracement now, like JDSU and Lucent and Atmel and a couple others. Is their stuff have they taken their products to the next level, like the stuff you're talking about? Is this what's driving them, or is it just that the demand for more, more stuff to carry all this has driven?
It's just a demand for being able to have capacity out there at the moment. JDSU makes a lot of the fiber optic drivers out there that basically shoot light through fiber that goes from city to city and across the nation, across the world out there. So as we saw a lot of that capability being brought online, they had a huge upswing over the last 3-6 months out there, and really. Yeah, and like JDSU, they broke out of a long-term base out there. So normally what you're going to see is some level of consolidation as they come back. I think one of the things we have going for us in a lot of those stocks is the sell in May and go away scenario, where we're having some of those people, had some huge moves out there, very short term. They need to base out. We're probably going to have a little bit of pullback. I thought maybe we might have a bounce that lasted for a little while out of here. It was kind of a very short run bounce out of there. But I suspect we're probably going to have some huge buys on those probably in the first big 3D weekend of May. If you're looking at a long-term buy out there.
Right back to their breakout points then, as opposed to the,
I think they are, and I think. Yeah, and I think we're going to see a little bit of consolidation, and I think that's going to take us back into the probably the 3-day weekend on in May. Okay. And normally you see a change in the market over those big 3-day weekends. And this, I'm not talking about my daily newsletter out there. I'm talking about on a long-term investment.
You talked about it in your show, which I try to listen to as much as I can, and you talked about this one as well. So,
but yeah, I think on a longer-term investment,
long-term thing.
I think on a longer-term level, most of these stocks are going to get a giant kick out of IPv6 Day, which I think is the 8th of June out there. That's when Google and all these companies, I think about 50 big powerhouses out there on the Internet, are going to, on a Saturday, do IPv6 only to see how well all their stuff works out there. And this is the first real push because basically they have a drop-dead date of somewhere around September when we're totally out of those IPv4 addresses. So normally when people like any kind of ISP or a Tier 1 provider out there that's upgrading their systems, they're going to get a certain amount of spin-off for companies like you talked about, where they're going to be upgrading their equipment just because they're putting in new routers and something doesn't work with this, so they end up putting that in and that doesn't work with that. They go through all the iterations to make sure all the stuff finally works all together. And normally you find out that it's just like building a hot rod. You build a big motor and the tires can't handle it, or the rear end can't handle it, or the transmission can't handle it. So you change one thing, everything down the line has to be upgraded to work with that higher power motor. And we're really seeing that in JDSU. I don't know, did you hear my guest about 2 weeks ago?
No, I was away and I missed that, unfortunately. So
he was from Hurricane Electric. He was from Hurricane Electric, and he said that about 90% of the high-end Tier 1 companies were done. About 90% of their work was done on IPv6. It was all the Tier 2 and Tier 3 internet service providers out there that were really going to be the ones that hadn't done anything yet. And now most of that business that JDSU that allowed them to break out were the guys on the highest level. And now we're looking at the Tier 2 and Tier 3 providers that are all going to have to upgrade over this next 6 months. So I think that once we get a little bit of light shined on it, I was talking about this issue last fall, and it was going to be, I think, it was pretty close to about mid-February when we first saw the first articles come out that the end of IPv4 addresses were coming out. And that's really when we started seeing that breakout from JDSU. Everybody knew that they were behind the ball and they needed to go forward.
I don't know if you noticed today, I was watching Tom's Bloomberg machine, and I saw that RIM was going to try to up the price for the Nortel stuff, that the addresses thing that you had also brought up, which Google bid on. So that was kind of caught my eye too, and you were the first one.
You mean the address? You mean the 660 million addresses that Microsoft bid on just a few months ago? It looks like they're going to go after that in a bankruptcy court. I don't know who's going to get it, but that's probably going to be settled very quickly out there. I think that goes to court in the next week or week and a half. So, someone will end up with those 660 million addresses, but that right now probably wouldn't last more than about 5 weeks. The reason Microsoft wants them is they need them for their cloud projects out there to make sure that everybody would have a IP address if they needed it for their cloud services. So I have a feeling that more than anything, Google and Microsoft are going to kind of duke it out to get those because everybody wants them now.
Anyway, I'll let you go, David, so you can finish up your show. Really appreciate chatting with you. Keep up the good work.
Good enough. And that was Rocky from the Great White North out there. As we come back, we're going to have a little short segment here left, and we'll talk about some of the other things out there in tech land that I noticed this week. Again, make sure that you check out Tom's book on Amazon, out for a really good price, under $30. Amazing.
For some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to thefrontoftfnn.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman-Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman-Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman-Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is now on sale at Amazon.com for only $27.88. If you have an interest in mastering any market with superior confidence, this book is for you. I will walk you through the subjective theory behind quality, volume, and cause and effect, coupled with the objective aspects of the Tiger-Gartley, all the while utilizing risk management and Tiger scaling techniques. This will give you the elements of a successful system that can be profitably applied to any stock, commodity, or future market, any place, anytime. I'm offering a complete educational program, including the book, for only $88. You'll receive a live 2-hour workshop in your city or online, where we get into quality volume, the ABC structure, as well as the never-seen-before Tiger-Gartley. These techniques will make you money on a consistent basis. You can go to TFNN.com to see when I will be in your city. Don't let Wall Street eat you alive. It's time for you to rule the markets. Go to TFNN.com and sign up for the workshop coming to your city.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And as usual, on Friday afternoons in the second hour on the Tom O'Brien Show, this is David White, and we're talking about technology. A few of the things out there that really hit me is I tend to come up with a theory and then look for information that confirms it along the lines of everything makes sense as you continue and you invest. The story should remain the same. And I think when Rocky was talking to us in the last segment there, we were talking about what is it that's making a lot of these companies come back from the dead out there, like JDSU? And we've had some shows on that. But basically, it's a capacity issue. We've got all these smartphones out there. We've got tablets. And there's just a lot more data being moved out there. Everybody's now watching things like our own Tiger TV channel out there. When we look at video out there being 20 and 30 and 40 times faster, or the amount of data being 30 or 40 times more every second to be watching live video than, let's say, just looking at a web page or something like that, you really can see how fast that phenomena of just having a huge amount of capacity out there to move data is. One of the problems has been out there for some of the companies, and we follow like Level 3 Communications out there, LVLT. Global Crossing got, they got an offer and accepted it. GLBC. These are kind of some of the companies that were really the big movers back in, pretty much back around 2000 when the Internet was really hitting its first stride. And the Internet got overbuilt. There was far too much capacity out there. We're now into that second segment out there. So this week, what happens? Level 3 Communications makes an offer to Global Crossing. They're both some kind of beat-up stocks out there that used to be, in the hundreds and thousands of dollars back, 10 years ago. They've made it through the other side, and capacity is now a big issue out there. The reason that Level 3 probably ended up buying Global Crossing is they needed to get the economies to scale back up there. And some people are call this the marriage made in fiber heaven out there, because these companies really have a lot of fiber that connects cities to cities out there. But what you see when these kind of deals get made is that there's generally a fairly decent reason out there, and that is that they needed to gang up to get strong enough to go and have some pricing power against other companies. Basically, there were a couple of them. I think it was Time Warner and Comcast were both kind of beating up on LVLT and saying, hey, we're just going to go around you and we're not going to give you your cut of data that you move from city to city. We don't like the price you're charging. You're sending too much data our way. It's a very complex deal out there. But what this deal does is make them a little bit more of a monopoly out there. They won't be able to be kicked around anymore. They have enough of the fiber now across the country that they can start demanding higher prices. So to some level, this is going to be a monopoly of at least a large enough size that their customers can't tell them what they're going to pay for it. Level 3 and Global Crossing are going to be able to be one company and say, hey, this is going to be the price, and there isn't going to be enough capacity out there for the other people out there, like the Time Warners and the Comcast, to say no to them. So just a little tidbit of data. As you're investing out there, you want to put together all the information to make sure the story basically stays the same. And this is one of the things that we're investing in the newsletter, which is both capacity and speed out there, and this is just part of that. But a couple of the companies that I follow out there, but I'm thinking that the next 18 months it's going to continue on like this. You're going to see these kind of companies bought out, moved up, but what they're really going to do is start seeing their margins are going to start moving up. They're going to have their average profit higher, and they're really going to start to move. And I think that you follow me in the newsletter, you'll see that. I think probably about in late May, we'll be buying stocks in that sector.
Gold is an international gold mining company with 2 producing mines in the world's most prolific gold mining areas, the Hollister Gold Mine on the Carlin Trend in Nevada and the Burnstone Gold Mine in the Wits Basin in South Africa. The Burnstone Mine is a low-cost, long-life, shallow mine that is a company builder, and the Hollister Mine is one of the world's highest-grade ore bodies being mined today. Burnstone offers a huge re-rating potential by producing in the 4th quarter, and Hollister represents a tremendous and very exciting exploration opportunity. With annual production of 165,000 ounces of gold in 2010, 260,000 in 2011, and 330,000 ounces of gold in 2012, Great Basin is poised to become a leading mid-tier gold producer. Great Basin Gold has resources of over 13 million ounces, exceptional organic growth potential at its current mines, and greenfield operations in Tanzania and Mozambique. Great Basin has strong management and a commitment to deliver exceptional value and cash flow to its shareholders while acting responsibly toward its surrounding communities. To find out more about Great Basin Gold, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the American Stock Exchange, symbol GBG.